can. He did a whole lot to a whole lot of people. And now he's paying for it. So all these cats, I guess y'all get y'all visitations right. Some of y'all can get y'all conjugal visits right with him.
Gene Deal just leaked Diddy's last phone call, and it's pure panic. This is Faith, and you're watching Verse Alert, where the truth behind hip-hop's biggest moments get uncovered. Let's get into it. When Gene Deal talks, people listen. He's not just another voice in the Diddy scandal. He's a man who was right there in the mix, moving behind the scenes during Bad Boy's golden era. He saw the money, the madness, and the mess that came with Diddy's rise to the top. And now, years later, Gene's back again, dropping what might be the most humiliating revelation yet: Diddy's final phone call before he got locked up. According to Gene, that call was nothing like the confident, smooth-talking Puff we've seen for decades. Nah, Gene says Diddy sounded broken, paranoid, and downright terrified, begging for help as the feds closed in.
So he got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory. But for a dude like Diddy going to jail and spending all that time, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna be rough or nothing like that, because his former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, with the federal jail.
It's hard to believe, right? This is the same man who built an empire off power and control. The man who walked into rooms like he owned them. But Gene says that when the law came knocking, Puff dropped the whole Mr. Untouchable act real quick. His last call wasn't to his mama or his lawyers. It was to someone powerful. Someone Gene says Puff trusted to pull strings and protect him.
He got caught with never got charged with the and the judge knew that. That's why the judge said relevant conduct. You understand? He got caught with guns. Guns in the house with the serial number. The judge knew that.
Whether it was a politician, an industry exec, or an old contact from his high places, Gene didn't name names, but the way he described it, you could tell Puff was desperate. Gene said the call went down just hours before the federal raids hit Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles. Puff allegedly called in a panic, saying things like, "They're coming for me, and you gotta fix this. I did everything I was supposed to do." According to Gene, the voice on the other end didn't give the reaction Puff wanted. The person was cold, distant, like they were already done with him.
To me, I never want to see a black man going to jail based on the circumstance, based on the situation, based on he may not have the legal team, because a lot of us get railroaded. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us get railroaded. So I don't never want to see no black, you know, yo, that's what these cats gonna be saying. Yo, they want to see. Nah, bro. I fought to keep guys out of jail for 27 years.
Gene claims that's when Diddy realized it was over. That the same system and network that helped him climb to billionaire status was now turning its back on him. And that's when Gene says Diddy started to beg. Not demand, not negotiate. Beg. He went from the boss to the hunted, pleading for favors and trying to make deals over the phone. Gene painted a picture of a man completely undone, pacing, sweating, trying to sound calm while his empire fell apart. He reportedly said things like, "I took care of everybody. Now nobody's taking care of me."
About all that. So now, if he's doing that, and the judge is saying all of the stuff that he did that was wrong, what else? Having security take people, put them up in abandoned buildings and threaten them. The judge had all that information.
You can practically hear the panic in his voice when Gene describes it. The irony is unreal. For decades, Puff was the one in control. From Bad Boy to Revolt TV, from luxury brands to global deals, everyone wanted to be in his orbit. But when Gene described that call, it was like watching the king get dethroned in real time. All that power, all that money, none of it could stop what was coming. Gene said it best, when the feds want you, they already got you. And that's what makes this leak so powerful.
Man, I feel good, man. I feel good way before the sentencing, and I'm gonna feel good way after it. You know what I'm saying? That the sentencing don't have anything to do with how I feel. It just goes me to show, that tells me when God puts you in a position and puts you in a place to be involved in something.
It's not just a story about Diddy's last call. It's the moment where the mask finally dropped. The man who always moved like a god suddenly sounded like a man. No entourage, no lawyers, no bravado, just fear. Gene Deal didn't just describe the call. He painted it like a movie. He said the moment Puff realized his protection was gone, his whole tone changed. The man who once told people, "I'm too connected to fall," started breaking down, talking about how the media was turning on him, how his old allies were ghosting his calls. Gene says Puff kept repeating, "They can't do me like this. I made too many people rich." It sounded like a man trying to convince himself that power still mattered. But on the other end of that line, whoever he called stayed cold, quiet, like they'd already moved on to saving themselves.
It just felt like, what? Like, is this fun for him? Is this a test?
Gene claimed Puff even mentioned names. People high up in politics, corporate execs, and a few industry heavyweights he thought would protect him. But as Gene explained, once the feds kick in that door, all then favors go out the window. The same people who once smiled in pictures with him were suddenly too busy to answer. And that's when Puff reportedly said the line that broke the internet when Gene repeated it. "Tell them I'll talk. I'll give them what they want." That right there sent fans into a frenzy. Was Puff trying to cut a deal? Was he really ready to turn on the same people who protected him for years just to save himself? Gene didn't confirm whether Puff actually reached the feds, but he said that sentence revealed everything. The fear, the guilt, the realization that the game was finally over. And the way Gene told it, Puff knew that once his phone stopped being answered, his time on the outside was done.
Former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs speaking out in a new interview with new allegations about wild parties.
Hours later, those raids hit. FBI agents walking out of Diddy's mansions with hard drives, boxes, and safes. For years, people thought Diddy was untouchable. Now, the world was watching his empire crumble live on TV. Gene said he wasn't surprised. He'd seen that moment coming years ago. He said the problem with Puff was he thought he was the system, when really, he was just being used by it. Fans were stunned by Gene's details. They couldn't believe the same man who used to brag about being the most powerful in the room was on the phone begging for mercy. And when Gene said Puff told that mysterious contact, "Don't let them do me like Suge," that hit hard. It showed Puff knew what was coming. Humiliation, prison, and the loss of everything he built. Fans started breaking down the deeper message. That Diddy's fall wasn't sudden. It was years in the making. Gene said he'd watched Puff burn bridges for decades. Every lawsuit, every fallout, every scandal was another crack in the foundation. By the time that last call happened, there was nobody left to save him. The people who owed him favors had already switched sides. Gene said Puff built an empire off fear, but fear fades once the power's gone.
And after that initial review of his current medical situation during his physical, and then there's follow-up to that process if there's something found, immediately. But, you have to understand, daily there are medical staff walking through the units, doing what we call sit call and asking inmates, are they okay?
According to Gene, Puff didn't just lose friends, he lost handlers. The folks who used to clean up his mess, spin his image, and keep his secrets started vanishing when the feds came knocking. He said Puff was calling every contact he had, from old label execs to political donors, trying to cash in favors. But nobody answered. He realized he'd been spending money to buy loyalty, and loyalty don't last when the money dries up. That's why the call hit so different. For the first time, Puff wasn't the puppet master. He was the one begging not to be forgotten. Gene said you could hear it in his voice. The disbelief that the same people he built up were now watching him fall from luxury to lockdown.
Specifically, he said, quote, "A history of good works can't wash away the record." He pointed out that two of Diddy's accusers and former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane, he talked about their testimony specifically. The judge pointing out that after Diddy publicly apologized for the leaked video of him assaulting Cassie, that Diddy assaulted his current girlfriend.
Then Gene dropped another bombshell. Puff apparently mentioned files and videos during that call, things he claimed he'd kept as leverage. Fans think that's what made his tone so panicked, because once the Fed seized those drives, all that leverage disappeared. Gene said Puff knew those tapes weren't just career-ending, they were life-changing for everyone involved. So when he begged for help, he wasn't just begging for himself. He was begging to keep the whole house of cards from collapsing. Social media blew up. Clips of Gene's interview racked up millions of views in days. People who once defended Puff started changing their tune. Even celebrities who'd stayed quiet began scrubbing old photos with him. The narrative flipped overnight, from Puff the mogul to Puff the man running out of time. Now, Gene says that call represents the end of an era. The shiny suit mogul who once ruled music, fashion, and media is gone, replaced by a man sitting in a cell, wondering how it all slipped away. Gene told viewers that Puff's downfall should be a lesson to everyone chasing power without principles. You can't play God forever. Fans online keep replaying Gene's description of Puff's last words on that call. "Tell them I'm still Puff Daddy." Gene said it wasn't arrogance, it was desperation, like he was clinging to a name that no longer meant anything. When the feds come for you, they don't care about Grammys or Forbes lists. They care about evidence. And according to Gene, Puff knew that evidence was already in their hands.
4 years, 2 months in prison.
Wow.
He served a year, he gets some time. He gets 15% credit, so he'd be at 14-ish.
2.5 years.
So, and then he gets another 15% of the remaining.
Yeah.
He's out in 2 years.
Yeah. Should have stuck with the original guess.
I know.
The reaction online has been pure disbelief. People can't wrap their heads around the idea that the man who once walked red carpets with presidents and billionaires was crying on the phone, begging for protection. But Gene says it's real, and he has no reason to lie. He's been calling out Puff for years, exposing how the glamour covered up darkness. Now that the truth's unraveling, the world's finally listening. In the streets, they're saying this is karma. For decades, people whispered about Diddy's secrets, the shady deals, the manipulation, the way he used people and tossed them aside. Now, every secret's catching up. And the most ironic part, the last man still talking about Puff is Gene Deal, the same bodyguard he once dismissed.
Data shows a wide variety of sentences. Weighing all the relevant factors, the court determines that the sentence is 50 months of incarceration.
50.
4 years.
4 years.
5-0.
4 years, 2 months.
2 months.
Yep.
At the end of the day, Gene didn't leak that phone call just to expose Puff. He leaked it to show the fall of a giant, to remind everyone that power don't make you untouchable, and money can't buy silence forever. In Gene's words, when that phone stopped ringing, Puff finally realized what real fear feels like.